Wouldn't life be easier if we could just turn that little voice off in the head? But then again, we'd also be switching off our greatest teacher in disguise. Who said that? This is David Childerley and welcome to Life's Instruction Manual. Today I want to talk about the ego, or negative self-talk, that little voice in the head that wrestles with us on a daily basis. Now you may notice that little voice in the head is constantly negative. But is it? Now if you listen carefully, you'll hear a mixture of both negative and positive. You see, sometimes the ego talks nicely to you. It encourages you to do things. Yet other times it barks and growls at you. So why is that? Well, today I thought we'd take a closer look at the ego and exactly what it is. Now the ego is your belief protector. You see, when we're young, we use our minds and our internal words and thoughts to create beliefs. And as soon as we install a belief in the subconscious part of our minds, the ego's job is to protect it. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a positive belief or a negative belief. The ego doesn't judge. It just protects the belief. So here's a few examples to help you understand your ego better and why it really is your greatest teacher in disguise. You see, your ego is protecting your beliefs. So when the ego barks at you, it's only protecting a negative belief that you installed in your unconscious mind many years ago, but you've simply forgotten about it now. But it's still running in background. And when you can identify that negative self-talk is just your ego protecting a negative belief you installed, you'll soon realize that the ego isn't judging you. The ego is just letting you know what limitations you have running. So here's an example. You can imagine a scenario where I get a phone call from a friend and they invite me to something like a party. If I have a belief running that I'm not worthy or not deserving, then before I answer my friend's invitation, there'll be a pause in time. And I'll check with the beliefs. I'll check with the ego. Now, if it's a limiting belief or a negative belief of not worthy, the ego's job is to protect that belief. So obviously, he's going to talk me out of going to this party. So it goes a little something like this. Hi Dave, do you fancy coming to a party on Friday night? Yes, well, just let me check. Let me think. Now, because I've got a belief running that's unworthy, the ego's going to jump in and he's going to say, don't bother, you look fat and ugly and you stink. Now, with that sort of information coming in, I'm probably going to make an excuse to my friend and decline the invitation. But with a similar scenario, if that same invitation comes in but I have a different program running, a different belief, maybe one that says I am worthy, I am deserving, then when my friend asks me or invites me to the party, I'll take a moment, I'll check, and that voice, that ego that's protecting a positive belief will jump in and say, yes, get out, have fun, you'll have a brilliant time. Then I'll accept the invitation and I'll look forward to something interesting and fun later this week. So really the ego is your greatest teacher in disguise. And when it barks at you and you can hear it barking at you in the head or putting you down or talking to you negatively, it's really letting you know there's a limitation running that you created, that it's now defending and protecting. And it'll keep doing that until you change the belief. So be aware of your self-talk. Listen to it intensely over the next 24 hours. Notice when it's being horrible to you and notice when it's being kind to you. You see, there's two versions, and depending on what the belief is, depending on the sort of feedback you get. So next time you hear yourself ranting in your mind, stop yourself, consciously interrupt and say, okay, what's this showing me? What can I learn from this? Don't fear that negative self-talk. Don't wrestle with it. Try and understand it. Try and observe it. Try and understand and see what it is trying to show you. So that's a little bit of information from my Masters of Manifestation 2013 program. It's a personal development program where we get to work one-on-one over a long period of time, over the Skype free chat network. So if you'd like to find out more about that, check the link at the top there. Go and visit my site. Have a look at the Coach with David page. There's loads of good information on there. So from now on, when you hear that little voice barking in the head, ask a better question and you'll get a better result. Stop wrestling with yourself. Stop fearing yourself. When you hear that positive voice in your head motivating you to do something, it's protecting a positive belief. But when it barks, it's just protecting a negative belief. It doesn't judge, it just protects the beliefs that you created. Now, as an adult with awareness, you can change it. Thank you for watching today. This very little brief video about the ego and that little negative or positive talk in the head. Hope you understand it a lot better. This is David Childerley. I'll see you on another video.